In this video, we'll be talking about the Texas early statehood vocabulary. I'm going through the vocabulary words that you need to know to be successful in this unit. The first word we get to is acquired. Acquired means to buy or obtain something for yourself, basically. So if you acquire a new Xbox One to get you through this coronavirus, that would be basically what you'd be doing with this word. Next word is manifest destiny. Now, this is the belief that it is the United States God-given right to extend from Atlantic Ocean to Pacific Ocean. Excuse me. So the actual definition as written is the 19th century doctrine or belief that the expansion of the U.S. throughout the American continents was both justified and inevitable. That the U.S. would expand from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The next word we have is ratify. Ratify is to sign or give formal consent, which is basically a treaty, a contract, an agreement, making it official and valid. So when the United States was having to pass the Constitution, or they were trying to pass the Constitution, all of the states had to ratify the Constitution or make it formal and note that they agreed to those terms of the Constitution. The next word we have is nativism. Nativism is basically the belief that the people that are born in the country, or natural born, they have more rights or should be protected more than immigrants. So basically, as it's written, the native policy of protecting the interest of native-born or established inhabitants against those of immigrants. Now, this came into play when you saw a lot of immigration in the United States, and people thought that they should have, I guess, a more priority rather than the immigrants that were coming into the country. The next word we have is reservations. Now, these reservations are not something that you would get at a restaurant, although that is one definition for the word. The action of reserving something would be that. Like, I have a reservation at 7. That's not what we're talking about here. In the history terms, we're talking about the area of land managed by the Native American tribe under the U.S. Bureau of Indian Affairs. So basically, when the natives were kicked off of their own land, the United States government gave them these reservations where they could go and basically, as an area of land where they could go and make the laws and everything like that, and the United States wouldn't really mess with them. It was kind of a safe haven for the Native American people. The next word we have is Armistice, which is an agreement made by opposing sides in a war to stop fighting for a certain time, basically a truce or ceasefire. So you'll hear the word, hey, we have a ceasefire in the conflict. Mainly these come like Christmas time. You may have a ceasefire for like a 24-hour period where they don't want any fighting, and so the two parties that are clashing get together and they decide that, well, okay, we're not going to fight for this extended amount of time, or it could be indefinite. So they could say, hey, this is truce, we're over, nobody wins, nobody loses, but let's quit the fighting. And so that's what you have here. The next word is reparation. Reparation is an amount of money or otherwise helping somebody who has been wronged. So you may hear the word reparation when you talk about slavery. So when all the slavery was abolished in the United States, the government was talking about reparations for the slaves. So for people that had been enslaved, they wanted to kind of set them up and almost try to make it right with either amount of money or some land or something like that, so that they could, start their new lives as free people. But as it's written, it's the making of amends for a wrong one has done by paying money or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. So that's reparation. Next we have Envoy. No, it's not the car. We're not talking about the Chevy product or the GM product. This is a messenger or representative, especially one of a diplomatic mission. So an envoy is basically a representative of a government that goes to another government and represents them in a way much like a diplomat would. The next word is annexation. This one we talked about in the last unit and will come and play here again in this unit. So annexation is going to be the incorporation of a country or territory into another country or territory. So we talked about the Texas annexation of 1845, and that is we're going to see this again in this unit while we get to it. And so annexation is just incorporating another territory or land into your country. And that'll do it for the vocab. Appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If it is, then that's great. And I hope you're staying on top of your stuff and getting through this virus schooling just like we all are. Wish you nothing but the best. And if you need anything from us, do let us know.